Alright guys, what's going on? Today is April 29th and it's been exactly a month ago when we got quarantined. So been quarantined exactly for 1 month already. So far so good. So as you can see, I'm outside. So we can't actually go around our compound here. But however, the neighborhood committee that manages this compound advises not to go out too often outside, so just to, be safe. But yeah, it's really up to us. I mean, it's not like by law we can actually, after 7 days, if there's no cases, we can just walk around again. So we're still good. So officially, after 7 days without COVID again, so a total of 14 days, we can actually leave our compound. But I doubt that they, I'll be surprised if they let us go out. By law, we can. It's just, it's if something happens to you, like let's say you got the virus from outside and you come back, you're gonna impact like the rest of the compound of thousands of people. So they advise you not to do it, but it's really up to you. Let me straighten this thing. Yeah, that's for the rules and stuff. So what else happened? Let's talk about food a little bit, food wise. What's going on? So at the beginning of April, when this all started, yeah, it was kind of really hard to get food in general, but it was probably really hard for people who are not savvy, tech savvy with technology in general, how to order. But there's many ways to order food, and so it was pretty easy for us. But I assume like a lot of people that had a hard time to order it. As I said, there's many ways online, through neighbors, group buys, and you get food from the government as well. So you had many options actually. But now it's actually getting to a point where it's, I wouldn't say back to normal, but it's still, we have like, I think for the past few days we didn't actually order anything because we have enough now. Now we're just like getting back into ordering basically luxury stuff. We ordered like I think a pack of coconut, I don't know, like drinks, coconut, like real coconut. So that's real luxury. So we have that, and then just some. Now that we have like the regular staple food, like enough, so we can start ordering like luxury goods. We were able to order like the most important things like baby powder and stuff. That was really hard. No, I mean, let's be clear. There's enough powder, but they're not maybe your particular brand and age group, and it was like harder. But in general, you can get like, if you're not too picky about the brand, then you should get it. But then in our case, like I wanted to get the exact brands and stuff, and that was like actually very hard to get. And then, but we finally got all the stuff we have. So now it's sort of like back to normal in terms of food. You can actually, well, it's much easier to order food actually at 6 o'clock now in the morning. Before it was like really hard, but now it's alright. We don't even use that anymore. We have enough food in general. So that's for food. It's pretty exaggerated. Even like at the beginning of the month when food was really hard to get, like people are starving to death. That's, grossly exaggerated. I mean, starvation, it's when you don't have anything to eat within a day. But I think what people are talking about again, is like luxury goods and stuff. And I hear some people like, having to live off with instant noodles and stuff. And to be honest, like instant noodles were really hard to get even. I don't know. If you can have instant noodles, that's pretty good because it's something it was somehow really hard to get because everybody wanted to get it. But instead you have the normal stuff like rice and stuff and vegetables and meat and stuff. But instant noodle was something like, it's more like a convenient luxury good, and it was hard to get at the beginning. We had it like all this time, but it was, there was some people claiming, they're consuming off like instant noodles and stuff. They couldn't get anything else. But as I said, you have to be really, I wouldn't say stupid, but you really talented to like not getting food with all these options, especially in Shanghai, even during the lockdown. So yeah, so that's for food. So let's get right to the COVID thing. So we have peaked actually around 7 days ago, around the 20th. We had like 25,000 cases, and now it has come down to about 11,000. So it comes down steadily. So hopefully, like in a week and so, we get like in the thousands, not in the 10,000s of cases. So we're doing still daily like antigen tests at home, and then on top of that, we get like every 2 days or so, like a COVID test outside. Yeah, that's for testing. I don't know. I still don't understand. We have to do like 2 tests in a day, like those antigen tests. I think they're overdoing this with these tests. I don't know. I would think like 1 antigen test is enough. I guess I don't understand the science behind it, I guess. And then for me, they're overdoing it. So that's for COVID. And then, so let's talk a little bit about the zero COVID policy thing. Although like I'm not somehow affected by this policy, but still like I'm supporting it because there's tons of older people. I think roughly about 170 million people, older people above 60 that are not vaccinated, and that's the main problem they got actually. They're still holding on to the zero COVID policy. There's too many people, 170 million people at risk if they let it go rampant, the virus. So I think mainly because of this, and I'm still like in favor of this, even though like this lockdown hurts my business, and I haven't worked for a week. My business, I have to pay my employees, and if it were all for me, like I would not need the lockdown because it doesn't affect the virus. Does not impact me, and plus my parents don't live here, so it really doesn't make sense for me. I still support it because you have to look at the overall, like in the society as a whole. You may make losses, but then still you have to consider the elderlies, the 170 million people, elderlies, and if they were your parents and stuff. So but it looks like a lot of people that complain, they have no idea what they're doing. They're sitting on their lazy ass, and especially for employees, it's like easy. They don't have their job, but they still get paid for it. But all they have to do is just sit in a home, sitting on their ass at home and just wait it out. And then you at least you can stay at home and rest. Unlike a lot of people at the front line, risking their lives and working their ass off, and you complaining about like having to stay at home and rest, and maybe you have a little bit hard time to get some freaking food. But if I can get food, as a person who does not come from here, does not read proper Chinese, I can still get my food and stuff. So if you were local, even foreigners that complain, it's mainly because they couldn't get certain food orders, or they have their entitlement to expect some privileges from the government, and I want to remind like all foreigners, that they're only guests here. So I'm in the same position. So I'm not asking about anything. I have no right to criticize here because I'm only a guest here, okay? So back to these people that keep complaining about this policy. They don't even know where it is, to be in front line, to wear this hazmat suit for like a day or a week, just working on outside in this heat. We had like a week before, it was like 30 degrees out there, and I was volunteered for an hour for this work outside to spray all that fucking disinfectants for an hour. It was so hot in this suit, and I was so happy after an hour I was done with this. And can you imagine to work like an hour for a week on this? And then for these people to complain, basically, they're sitting on their lazy ass at home. Maybe they couldn't get their food like as usual, complaining about like their well-being, that they're not being treated well and blah blah blah. So am I, everybody else. But you got it easier than most people, than people who have to work, and stop complaining about this. And again, we got 25 million people here. Of course, there's going to be people, there's some accidents here and there, maybe some elderlies that couldn't get, are not tech savvy, but most older people that live with their, like with somebody, like, Chinese tradition, it's not like in the West, older people live by themselves, but it's mostly in families and stuff. So I don't think there's any problems with like, I'm sure in a family there's one young person at least, who can order food and organize it. But if you like, there's some, lonely people out there, I guess singles, and, for staying in the house for 1 month, I think it could be troublesome, but it's not that hard. I mean, and I mean, look at it. Comparing to our compound, it's relatively smooth and everything, and nobody complains. I think most people are pretty reasonable. They're pretty civilized, I would say, And I don't know why there is actually problems with certain communities that are complaining, going out and having fights and all this stuff. If you look around, like our neighborhood is just like not rich, not poor, just like a normal neighborhood. So I can actually see this is what people order here. Tyson chicken, all kinds of stuff you can get. Seriously, beef patties, chicken wings, a lot of meat, and it's just there, So, yeah, and again, I mean, you can just order pretty much normal food again. I see in every building there's food put outside. To be honest, if people are starving and stuff, they would fucking steal food. They're getting so desperate. No, we're living in a neighborhood here it's not even rich. It's just normal neighborhood. I'm not even rich. So it's plenty of food. I don't know. I'm making big fuss about this. I mean, the social medias and stuff. 25 million people. There's always going to be some douchebags, some idiots complaining about this and that. So yeah. Life is pretty normal. I mean, if you manage to be miserable, I guess it's part of a society. It's always like bad stuff happening, or some idiots out there, douchebags that want to make trouble. So yeah, can't heal. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Peace out.